setting the stage for Japan's recovery. In the aftermath of the bombings, Japan was in ruins. The economy was obliterated, infrastructure destroyed, and the morale of the people was at rock bottom. The soil was poisoned, the cities were ghost towns, and the future seemed bleak. But something happened to shift, a decision, a spark that would ignite a transformation unlike anything the world had ever seen. Japan's leaders knew they needed a plan, a way to lift the country from the ashes. But they didn't start with grand. Instead, they set an ambitious goal. They began with something simple, something that could be achieved quickly: textiles. But why textiles? The secret begins the textile industry. This was no random choice. Japan had a history, a legacy of craftsmanship in fabric, and they knew this was something they could rebuild quickly. What no one expected was how fast they would rise. Japan's leaders set an ambitious and aspirational goal: to become the world's leading nation in the textile industry. To everyone's surprise, within just 5 years. By the 1950s, Japan had already become the world's largest exporter of cotton textiles. But this was only the beginning of their incredible journey. The next move: mastering steel. As Japan's textile industry grew, they knew they couldn't stop there. The next move was strategic, calculated steel. Yes, my dear friend, you listened it correctly: steel. Steel was the backbone of industrial power, and Japan was determined to become a global leader. In 1950, Japan's steel production was a mere 3.3 million tons, but they had a vision to build, innovate, and dominate. They didn't just want to be a player, they wanted to set the rules. Japan's leaders set a second ambitious and aspirational goal: to become the world's leading nation in steel production. But here's the challenge: Japan had almost no natural resources for making steel, no iron ore, no coking coal. They had to rely heavily on imports, bringing in almost everything from outside. Despite these hurdles, they didn't give up. Through continuous hard work, dedication, and following Kaizen and other Japanese principles, Japan achieved the unthinkable. By 1970, Japan's steel production had skyrocketed to 93 million tons, making them the world's largest steel producer. Once again, they turned the impossible into possible. But even this wasn't enough. Success had become their habit, and the taste of victory made them unstoppable. Japan now had even bigger plans, and they were just getting started. Now, here's where the story takes an extraordinary turn. With textiles and steel conquered, Japan set their sights on something even more ambitious: automobiles. The ultimate goal: the automobile industry. The automobile industry was dominated by giants, and Japan was just a small player in the 1950s. But they had a secret weapon: relentless innovation. They didn't just want to build cars, they wanted to redefine what a car could be. Japan's leaders set most ambitious and aspirational goal: to become the world's leading nation in automobile production. By the 1980s, Japan had surpassed the United States to become the world's largest automobile producer. Companies like Toyota, Honda, and Nissan weren't just brands, they became symbols of quality, efficiency, and cutting-edge technology. By 1992, Japan was producing 13 million vehicles annually, and their cars were being driven on every continent. Data, facts, and figures. textile industry by 1956, Japan controlled 38% of the world's cotton textile exports and nearly 60% of the global cotton yarn market. Steel industry. Japan's steel production grew from 3.3 million tons in 1950 to 93 million tons in 1970, making them the world's largest steel producer. Automobile industry. By 1980, Japan had become the world's largest automobile manufacturer, producing 13 million vehicles annually by 1992, unveiling the lesson, the power of vision and goal setting. So, how did Japan achieve the impossible? What are the key lessons we can take away and apply to our own personal and professional lives to reach the pinnacle of success? Today, we're going to reveal these secrets one by one in detail. So stay with us until the end, otherwise you might miss something important, and that's something you'll regret later. Let's dive in.